I love my Aventon Aventure, but what I didn't love about it was the pedal strikes that I got from having the stock factory cranks on it. In this video, I'm going to show you how we're going to switch the 170 millimeter crankset to 152 millimeter. I'm going to show you all the parts that you need to do it. I'm going to give you links to everything that you need to get it done. And we're going to switch from 170 to 152 millimeter. We're going to solve that pedal strike issue. And we're also going to solve that issue of where your foot hits the front fender sometimes. Let's get into it. Now, I've actually done this process already, but I forgot one important thing. I forgot to put the grease in. So because of that, it actually like pops and creaks sometimes when I put a lot of weight on it. And at 230 pounds, when I'm torquing down on it, well, we're popping and creaking. So this was a step that I forgot the first time I did it. That's why we're gonna redo the whole process again. And I figured I would use this opportunity to show you guys how to do it. Just don't forget this. Let's go over the tools that you're gonna need for this job. You're gonna need an 8 millimeter Allen wrench. You're definitely gonna wanna use some grease, either this kind or a kind like it. You can use your Allen wrench set that you got from Aventon, a crank puller, and what I call the Aventon hatchet. And you'll be using that to take your pedals off and on. We're gonna start with the left side first because there's no sprocket attached to it. And this is kind of like a good way for you to get your, to see how hard this is gonna be. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take this 8 millimeter wrench, we're gonna put it in there, and we're gonna loosen and take this cover off. When you order your crank puller, it's going to come in pieces. And here's what you wanna do. You wanna put this through here, then you want to attach the crank puller part. I'm going to show you how that works. For this part, you'll actually be screwing it in clockwise on your left-hand side. And you just want to get that tight. Use this process, keep your pedal on, tighten this thing up. You want it nice and snug. Now we're going to start spinning the chrome part clockwise as well. And this is actually, whoops, let me put that back where it was. This is actually going to push the crank off the rod. Just like that. And we're off. At that point, just go ahead and take your puller out of the crank. You're gonna need it for the other side. Now let's get to the part that I missed last time, adding grease to this. You will actually need scissors because I had to cut the tip off to make this work, to open it up. And we are going to put it, it looks like I just hit the sensor, but it'll wipe off. There we go. I want to put it on all the areas that touch the metal. Now that we got that done, your crank should have the weight should have just brought it down to the bottom. So now you can just put this facing the opposite direction. Clicks on there. We're going to take this because that is what we're going to screw back on, but we need to put grease around it as well. Get some on my finger. You might want to put it on gloves, but I have a paper towel around me to get it off. And then we're just going to put this bad boy right in here. We're going to tighten it. Now I'm only going to be able to get this so tight without having a pedal on it, but it'll be enough to get things set. And then when you put the pedal on it, you can tighten it up a little bit more. And I am sure that there's some kind of torque specification for this. I don't know it. I could take it to a bike shop and have them torque it down to specs for me. And if it starts creaking after this, that's probably what I'll do. Oh, we'll tighten it up a little bit more once we get a pedal on it. Now it's time to put the pedal on. Unfortunately, my Aventon hatchet won't actually work for this because it's an aftermarket pedal. If you are interested in a pedal of that type, I'll put the, I'll show you which one in the description. So we got to put some grease around it. Putting grease around everything. We're just gonna, apparently we're gonna spin around a couple times. All right, there we go. For this, screw it on counterclockwise. Get on there. Come on. I am on the internet. Get on there. There we go. Now that we have that tightened down, let's see if I can torque this a little bit more. Oh yeah. Woo. I like it. Oh, okay. Time for the other side. All right, I have the bike turned around, but before we start, we have to get the chain off the sprocket. So you just flip that forward, take your chain, pull it to the side, and now it's off. These steps are just as easy. All right, you're going to go ahead and unscrew that, pull the crank arm off. You're going to use your, oops, not that side. You're going to use the other side. And you're going to unscrew all these, put back the stock sprocket if you want. I ended up sticking with the stock sprocket. There's a shield behind it. You're just going to screw all those back in together. It's super easy. And then you're just going to pop this puppy back on, grease everything, tighten it, and you're good to go. When you're done, you're just going to lift there, put your chain back over the sprocket area. Get in there. Let that go. And then clean off your hands. I just took the bike for a test ride, put a lot of my weight on it, torqued on it really hard, no noise. So obviously the grease is going to be the big winning point here. Make sure you put it on. Don't forget that part or you'll have to redo it like I had to make it work. So till next time, enjoy the ride and I'll see you then.